Today's opening has a lot of surprises, so let's get straight into it. It's gonna go e4, e5, just standard stuff. And after they play knight f3, we're gonna go knight f6. This is called the Petrov's defense. And what you might notice is that we actually leave this pawn hanging. Now there's multiple ways to win a pawn back. First of all, we can take here. There's a lot of lines, but we're gonna treat this as a gambit, and we're gonna play knight c6. Sorry, this is actually called the Stafford Gambit. And usually, and that's also the best move, white just gonna take here, we are gonna take back, and white is claiming, okay, I'm a pawn up now. Now, in this position, they want to defend this pawn, so almost everybody plays d3, just defending that pawn and trying to get the bishop out. We are gonna bring our bishop out, and this is actually where we've already set some really dangerous traps. And one of them is after bishop g5, which is a very common move in this position. And actually, white is already losing here. And you might think, okay, well, how is white losing, right? But that's why this trap is so beautiful. And like I said, it comes with a lot of surprises. And the first surprise is that we are going to hang our knight as well as our queen. Now, white can do a couple of things here. First thing to show, if they take our queen, this is the most beautiful one and also quite often played actually. We can take here, this is check. Notice our knight is defending the bishop, so the king needs to move. Only square is e2. And then we have this bishop g4 checkmate. Notice how this bishop is covering, these squares. This bishop is covering that and delivering the check, and the knight is covering the escape square there. So this is actually checkmate. So that's why they can't take our queen. Well, what if they take our knight, right? We've just given up a knight. What's happening? Well, first of all, we could take back the bishop and we've won a pawn. But even better is to go bishop f2 check, sacrificing yet another piece. Now, if they were to take, we can just take a free queen here. So we've got 2 pieces and 2 pawns for a queen, which is very good for us. If they don't take and they say, okay, I'm trying to still protect my queen, we have actually yet another check. And we are gonna win that queen anyway now, so the best for them is to take our bishop now anyway, and we're just gonna win that queen. Notice it's important to take with our queen. If we take with the bishop, they can actually take our queen, so that's not what we want. But if we take with the queen, then everything is fine, and yeah, we've just won our queen. So going back, they, in this position, they can't take our queen and they can't take our knight. Now another move that's often tried is queen e2, saying, okay, I'm pinning your knight now, so I'm probably gonna win it. So what are you gonna do? Well, first of all, and this move is quite obvious, we're just gonna take the bishop, right? We've won a pawn. Now actually, we've sacrificed a pawn in the beginning, so it's equal material at this point. White is thinking, okay, I can take this piece with check now, and this looks very good for me. But believe it or not, this is actually still, according to the engine, minus 3.5. So a big advantage for black. And the main idea here, and this is not a move you may initially think of, but we're gonna play king d8. And now that I've played it, you've probably seen the idea. We're threatening to play rook e8 and just winning the queen because it's aligned with the king. So they need to deal with that. Now, they actually can't deal with that, and I'm gonna show you why. So one move they might try is to block with the bishop. Idea being that if we go for this, they can now move the queen because the bishop is blocking. But actually, if they block with the bishop, we can go for this check, and the king can't move anywhere. Notice how this whole row is covered, and this is covered by the queen as well. And they have to block with the bishop, and now we can win the queen anyway. So that's not something they can do. You might think, okay, but can't they just move the queen? Well, if they do that, they have indeed saved our queen for now. But after this check, notice the king only has 1 square, which is e2. We're gonna bring our rook in with check. And now actually the only way for white to prevent checkmate is to block with the queen and lose the queen anyway. Usually if they are moving the queen to prevent it from being taken, they're not gonna do that. They're gonna go here. And we can, for instance, there's multiple checkmates here, but we can sacrifice yet another piece, because if they take, it's checkmate. There's a couple of checkmate lines here, you can look them up, but yeah, it's checkmate in 4 here if white plays the best moves. And like the example I showed you, it can even end in 2 moves. So that's that one, so they can't really move the queen away. And yeah, basically everything else they can do. The best move they can play here is f4. Because now if we go for this, they can actually take here and then take our queen. And yeah, now we are losing. So that's not what we want. So we have to deal with this first. And here we can actually play queen f6. And we have two threats now, because we're threatening to take here, winning the rook. And we're still threatening to win the queen. This is the best white can do in this position. But like I said, they're already losing. Best they can do here is to attack our bishop. And yeah, we can do multiple things. We can throw in this check, but best is to actually just take here. Say, okay, you can take a bishop, but I'm going to take your rook. Now they need to defend this knight somehow. And yeah, we've already won an exchange. Their king is very weak. Our rook is going to come in. Like I said, they need to spend some time defending this knight. And in the meantime, we're going to have a devastating attack. This bishop can also become very dangerous. And yeah, it's just completely winning for us. So going all the way back, no matter what they do after this move, it's just completely winning for us. So bishop g5 really was their mistake. And it's a really easy one to make, because you just think, okay, we're pinning the knight, just a developing move. What can be wrong about it? Well, as you've seen, a lot. So I hope you can trap some opponents with this as well. Let me know if you did. And thank you for watching. Bye bye.